I'm trying to capture exactly what I see as quickly as I can, as successfully as I can, so that you can see what I can see. Well, it's beautiful. Look at that light. Excellent. Okay. All right to rock. I'm not trying to make it up. I'm not trying to sort of add anything else into it. I want you to see, I want the viewer to see how beautiful this joint is.
Looks wonderful, Liz.
Thanks.
It's always interesting to see what you have on the palette.
Haven't used much.
No.
I put out more paint for a bigger painting. Charlie Maslin's my favourite farmer. I love Charlie. I love what he does on his property. The most amazing, beautiful place to be. And I could spend every day out there painting, any weathers. And I just love what he gets up to. His process of farming, he's a regenerative farmer, and he is looking after his grasses and his trees and his waterways. If I'd used a different colour of blue or a yellow, it would have been sort of icier, but the pink's good.
This property is on the southern end of the Monero, south of Cooma, which at the moment, as you can see in the background, we're in a very dry period. And this river here is it's called the Cambalong Creek. It's not quite classified as a river, but it starts up at Nimidaville, probably about 25 k's away, and it flows for about 16 to 17 k's through our place. One of the biggest challenges we face as a farmer is it's not to me managing livestock or crops, it's really managing water. As rivers have become eroded, we've put some barriers in to lift the pools of water so that when we do get a flush of water coming through with a storm, it doesn't just disappear down the gutter and off into the Snowy River and out into the sea at Marlow. It stays here in the landscape for as long as possible. You can see this water hole here, we're sort of in a very dry time, but it's still almost pretty close to full.
And if you have an erosion gully, it's really easy just to forget it and not fence it off and let your stock go in there. But to fence it off and to slow the water down by putting obstructions, the water slows down and it dissipates and it builds up silt and you get no erosion.
I think the main beneficiaries of it, not only the platypus and ducks and all the life along it, our neighbours downstream, they recognise the difference that's happening here, and they're quite keen for me to do more work because they can see the streams are flowing for longer. Keeping water in these streams and keeping them healthy is just, it's great for everyone. That looks great, Liz.
Well, the colours are beautiful today. They're just, the reds in there is incredible.
And it's changed so much while you've been here, just in the hour. It's been bright to light to dark.
Yes, I've lost that sunny streak, but that's okay. There's still a little pot of sun down there. That's pretty gorgeous.
Yep, you do more than justice to a tired old Monero landscape.
I've just painted in my sort of composition, and now I'm filling it in. And so yeah, it's important, because if I get the start wrong, then everything else goes wrong. I love the big skies. The sky's fantastic today. I love how it changes all the time, weather-wise. Yeah, I love the colours that I'm given all the time, and each change of season with the deciduous trees, colours change. After art school, came down painting down here, doing landscape painting. I brought Vixen, my horse, down to just to ride and do landscape painting. And while I was down here, there was a big for sale sign out the front of here, and that was it. I'd arrived. I thought, yep, that'll suit me. And it's given me access to the garden to paint, the landscape to paint. Love the Monero. There's a lot that I haven't painted yet. I barely got out of the gate.
Lucy likes to describe her life as Lucyland, and it's a really apt description because Lucyland is somewhere quite magical and somewhat removed from real life as most people know it. It is a bit of a fairy tale realm that she's created for herself and that she lives in and that she works in. And all of her work is born out of Lucyland.
Oh, look at you sitting there. That's very nice. In my chair.
She's the sort of person who lives alongside her animals. She doesn't just have animals, they're very much her family, and she's adapted her life to them, which is really quite extraordinary. There wouldn't be too many people that own sheep and cattle that know the name of every single one, but I think Lucy does. I think part of the move to Bibbenluke was all about that, so that she could have them with her in a way that you really can't do unless you're in the country. If you're going to have as many animals as Lucy does, you really can't live in Surrey Hills anymore.
Molly, here's yours. Come on, Mol. Here, Mol. Good girl. Come on. And where is Lacey? You're getting... Come on, Lacey. Well, there's 6 dogs. There's 3 horses, 2 cows. This is Harry. And this is Claire. 3 goats. I think there's 47 sheep. They look starving. Then there's the birds. There's 13 emus and uncountable pigeons, probably 200 is a guesstimate. Okay, team. Then there's about 40 chooks. That's Joey and this is Champion. Then there's parrots, there's cockies, galahs and ducks and geese. 2 guinea fowl. I think that's about it.
All of her work tells us something about who she is, what she loves, what she's been doing. She loves her horses, she loves her animals. She loves her home here at Bibbenluke, and she's done a big series just called Home, which took us into all the different rooms of her house and usually decorated with various greyhounds lying all over the place. I think the reason that people love her work is there's so much joy in it and so much beauty in it, and she offers us the opportunity to come into Lucy Land and dwell there for a little while.
I chose not to have children. I'm very happy. I never had that plan. It's always about me. I just want to do what I want to do, and I think if you have kids, then you're sharing. Yeah, it's got to be time for them. The animals are great because they come along with me. I don't think I could put a kid through what I put my animals through. I love how soft this one's going to be. It's going to be very light. I've got to get these much lighter, these trees. Anyway, that'll be good. The pink works for me. I've tried other colours, but the pink gives a warmth. And if I just use white, it just looks, because of all the holes I leave, they look unfinished if it's white. Interesting how many more people are now using pink. There's a lot of us now. All my followers on Instagram use pink backgrounds. As soon as I could walk, I started drawing horses. The very, very early drawings of mine are horses and mice. I like mice. That was my subjects mainly as a kid drawing. And as I just got more and more horse crazy as I got older into my early teens, I was so horsey and all I did was draw horses. I left school in year 10 because it was just too hard and I was good at art, so I did graphic design. I went to TAFE. Other friends of mine who I went to school with had gone to art school and I was so jealous of them. Art school just looked like too much fun and it was what I wanted to do. I was 27 but just thought I had to do it and I was going to make a job of it, like it was going to, yeah, I had to achieve. Why do I paint? Why do I paint? I paint because I need to paint. Like one idea leads to the next painting. I never ever have that block. I paint every day and I never have an artist block. I never think, oh, what are we going to paint next? Because one idea feeds the next idea, feeds the next idea. I work on a series of works. So I get hungry to make the next painting and I think, oh, I've got to show people this thing. And the other thing about the paintings is that it pays for my lifestyle. You know, it means I can be here with all my animals. It's a job I do at home. I can take animals with me while I am out painting. And it's just the wholesomeness that I need in my life.
She's out there in the landscape all the time and To watch her doing that is quite extraordinary because she puts the paint on so quickly. She's a very fast worker, and it has to be, I think, to capture the sense of the time of day. Same as Monet used to do. All the Impressionists were all doing that sort of thing as well. They were all about capturing the changing light. And of course, in Australia, Streeton and McCubbin and Tom Roberts were all doing the same kind of thing. And Lucy's very much in that tradition of plein air painting.
Yeah, look, I feel like Streeton. I feel like I'm just doing a Streeton when I come out here. I'm just looking and trying to do my best to get the truest picture of this beautiful landscape, which is exactly what Streeton did, in the elements, in the wind. I haven't got my hat because it'd blow off down the cliff. And yeah, make a painting of exactly what I'm looking at, like Streeton. The day changes, the light changes, and every day's different. So you get here and you've got to make a painting as quickly as you can and get as much information in it as possible. So there's no time to smooth out brush strokes. Brush strokes is just how the painting's made. It just builds the painting.
I talked to Lucy a while ago about maybe doing a series of paintings on the creek, and she was really keen about the idea. And to me, she's got a story that she puts together with the paintbrush. Getting the message out to other farmers is important, but I think there are a lot of voters out there who vote on pretty sensitive environmental issues. Having a connection with Lucy doing paintings and maybe me giving a bit of a talk about what we do, we can get a message to some of the people in the cities. They might have a slightly different view of how they vote on these things. Managing water should be a paramount thing in this dry continent we have to look after.
I love painting the positive side to things, and I love to show the beauty. So when we were really suffering here in drought and dry, I just wanted to highlight the positivity in the regenerative farming that Charlie Maslin's doing on his property. Show that the waterways, there were still ponds of water with lots of bird life and fish and platypus, and it was a much nicer sight to see. It's what I'd like to see rather than what I don't want to see.
In these works, I think Lucy is paying homage to what he's done and to what he's achieved in this landscape. Lucy knows what it's like to live through bushfires. Lucy knows what it's like to live through drought. And she's deeply aware of what it's like to live in the land and the hardships that can bring with it. And I think she's really honouring Charlie Maslin's work in these particular paintings.